bitch? Where's my money? If you want to help me out, you can subscribe to me on Patreon, which is Grimachu, on Subscribestar, which is Grim-Jim, or if you want to make a one-off donation to help support me and keep the channel going, you can do so at paypal.me/JDesborough. Thanks. Hi, I'm Grim. I run my own company called Postmortem Studios, and through that imprint I produce role-playing games, fiction, video content, audio content, podcasts and the like, all under that umbrella. If you've heard of me, it's probably through my work in the role-playing sphere or the various controversies that have dogged me over time, and you've probably not heard anything good. And this video is unlikely to change that unless you listen and you grasp what I'm actually saying. So I'm here today to tell you that I don't care if you're a fascist or a communist, a member of Black Bloc, Antifa, if you're a woke pseudo-lefty or alt-right. I don't care if you're a homophobe or a transphobe, or if you're racist or sexist or whatever else. You can hold whatever horrendous views that you like, and I don't care. Well, I do care on a personal basis. I wish you weren't an annoying prick, but you're entitled to be an annoying prick. And what I mean by I don't care is that I don't care if you buy anything that I've done, read anything that I've made, play any of the games that I've created. I couldn't give a fig on that basis. You're not barred from reading or consuming or playing or buying anything that I've made on the basis of your personal opinions. This seems obvious. After all, I don't have any control over who buys any of my stuff or what they do with it at all. But there's this worrying sort of trend going around of barring all sorts of people, or at least pretending to bar all sorts of people from buying games that other people have created. Telling people specifically, if you're a fascist, don't play this game, or if you're a XYZ, don't play this game. And this is weirdly coming from activists who are exactly the sort of people you would think would try to reach out and convert and change the opinions of people who hold those points of view. Which, well, frankly, you're a shit activist if that's the case. Well, most of my work isn't explicitly or overtly political. A couple of things are here and there, but I like to think that perhaps if you are one of those assholes and you buy something of mine and you play it, then perhaps some of my fluffy left-wing ideas might perhaps rub off on you in some sort of way, and might help lead you away from holding those obnoxious views. At least that would be my hope, if at all, and if it doesn't, then Nazi money spends as well as anyone else's money, quite frankly. And if you're worried, if you're one of these cancel culture types, that money you give to me might be being spent on something horrendous or against your political beliefs, you really needn't worry. Most of it goes on household stuff, that sort of thing, the occasional treat, a takeaway, so, it's going to ethnic minorities, quite frankly. And when I reinvest money in the business, I seek out people who are hard up and need the work, need the money, and I often pay over the odds because of that. So if you're at all worried that money you send to me is going to pay for, I don't know, anti-gay marriage rallies or something, it's absolutely 100% not the case. I'm all for gay marriage and most other left-wing positions, but I don't tend to give a lot of money to those because they're high profile enough already. I prefer my activism to be one-on-one to people who genuinely and personally need the help. That's where I put my efforts. So, why say all this? Why poke fun at it? When I know there's going to be blowback and people aren't going to listen past the first 30 seconds or so. Well, like I say, there's this trend in books to make all kinds of apologies for whatever content it might have in it, or who it's based upon, the work, the attitudes of the person whose work it's based upon, that sort of thing. I mean, frankly, who cares? When it comes to someone like H.P. Lovecraft, they've been dead for a very long time. His works are open, so no money is going to the Howard Phillips Lovecraft estate at all. None of it is going to support any of his weird attitudes that were of the time. It's just frankly unnecessary, and honestly, I think if he hadn't been a racist xenophobe who had problems with women, his work probably wouldn't have been as good as it is, because that fear of the other certainly informs a lot of Lovecraft's work. His disgust and revulsion comes out mostly through allegory, though some of it is a bit on the nose if you go back to the original source. But so what? Your game, your material doesn't have to be, and you don't have to point it out and make specific excuses. And similarly, if you're making a game that is against certain points of view, you probably don't need to tell people diametrically opposed to that point of view that they shouldn't play it, or they can't play it. I mean, you can't stop them, and they're unlikely to be that interested in your work anyway if you're that kind of insufferable propagandizing prick. So I guess there we go. I don't care who you are, what you believe, what you look like, your race, your sex, your gender, who you like to rub your genitals against. I don't give a single solitary fuck. Your money all spends the same, and I'm secure in the knowledge that I spend it on my personal life and to help people in need, regardless of the same qualities. Again, a person in need is a person in need. Maybe if you're the kind of person that feels the need to do all of this, to try and restrict the way that people use your games, or to apologise every few pages for any offence you might have caused, take a long hard look at yourself and ask whether you really want to change people's minds, or whether you just want to show off to other people how right on you are. Zang. Postmortem Studios, role-playing games, and a lot more to die for. Post-mort.com.
The normal question, the first question is always, are these cannibals? No, they are not cannibals. Cannibalism in the true sense of the word implies an interspecies activity. These creatures cannot be considered human. They prey on humans. They do not prey on each other. That's the difference. They attack and they feed only on warm human flesh. Intelligence? Seemingly little or no reasoning power, but basic skills remain, are more remembered behaviors from normal life. There are reports of these creatures using tools, but even these actions are the most primitive. The use of external articles is bludgeons and so forth. I might point out to you that even animals will adopt the basic use of tools in this matter. These creatures are nothing but pure, motorized instinct. We must not be lulled by the concept that these are our family members or our friends. They are not. They will not respond to such emotions. They must be destroyed on sight.